Hey, what's up there, guys? Corey here with the Android community. We're taking a look at the Sony Xperia ZL. Now, we know this phone is not necessarily extremely new. Xperia Z and the ZL have both been available for a little while. They are also available unlocked for the U.S. market on Sony's store. Now, they're not available yet in the U.S. on any specific carriers, but if you do buy it unlocked from Sony for, I believe, like $630, you do get, AT&T and T-Mobile LTE support. So real quick, we just kind of wanted to unbox and kind of run through a couple of our thoughts on the Xperia ZL. Obviously, it's a nice phone. We've seen the Sony device plenty of times already, hands-on and unboxings, and as well as the Xperia Z. So there's a lot of similarities with the ZL as the Z, which is their flagship phone. But we're going to run through those in a minute. Obviously, just paperwork, headphones, big old wall wart charger. Nothing too fancy here from Sony. So we're going to throw the box aside, kind of get to the hardware on the actual phone, which is kind of what we wanted to talk about. Sony's done a great job here with the Xperia Z and the ZL. I mean, we have a 5-inch 1080p HD display, the slightly older Snapdragon Pro quad-core processor with 2 gigs of RAM, but it is a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core. Android 4.1 Jelly Bean here, 13 megapixel impressive camera on the rear. It's got a lot of custom features here that Sony's kind of designed their own app here for the camera. And then the SIM card and micro SD slot is down below. And overall, it's not a bad phone here. But the important part here is, just like the Xperia Z, the phone is, really nice overall, but it's slightly thicker. It's got an industrial design here with the ZL, and it loses some of those waterproof features and glass backing that the Xperia Z has. But other than that, everything's the same here. It's actually slightly smaller. The bezel's a little thinner, which is nice. And then, of course, that 2 megapixel front-facing camera as well here with the Xperia Z. So overall, just giving you a look here at the micro USB charging port on top, and the 3.5mm headphone jack. And as you curve around here, we do get a dedicated camera button with the ZL to go with that impressive 13 megapixel shooter, and then of course a slightly different back here compared to the Z. We aren't fans of the power button. It's kind of hard to push, to be honest. It's a little mushy feeling and not the best. But real quick, we also wanted to toss out, just for fun, the Samsung Galaxy S4, which is another 5-inch smartphone, just to quickly compare kind of the two on video. They're very similar in size. Obviously, the rounded edges here versus the squared makes it a little more comfortable to actually hold, because the square's kind of jabbing in your hand. That's just a quick look here of the two, just for fun to kind of compare them. Again, the Xperia is not available on Verizon, but you can get the unlocked model for the US from their store, which will work with LTE on T-Mobile and AT&T. Real quickly, we're going to turn it on. Interesting here, a lot of people maybe haven't used Sony's too much here in the States, but their software is pretty generic. As our title suggests here at Android Community, we're kind of wondering if Sony went with that Nexus experience we've been seeing lately, if that would maybe help them with the U.S. market, because they're not too huge in the U.S. market. We have been, obviously, the Galaxy S4 Google Edition's coming soon, the HTC One Nexus Edition as well, that Nexus experience, are both coming, June 27th, here in a couple days in June. So we just wanted to kind of think about the possibility of maybe Sony doing the same. So we have heard the Xperia Z might also come with a Nexus experience. That's just kind of a rumor going around for now, but they don't really do a lot to make their phones different or stand out. It is not stock Android, but there's nothing really fancy about it that kind of makes it any different. I mean, this is more of just kind of a couple tweaks to the look, and that's about it. I mean, yes, Sony does have their Walkman app, which is kind of fancy for the music listeners and albums and Sony Music and Sony PlayStation support, and a couple dedicated little camera features. But I mean, that aside, there's really not a lot that makes it different from most Android phones. It's just basically a little bit of a change over the top. I mean, Samsung has tons of changes with TouchWiz, same with HTC. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. But if they're going to stick so close to stock without really adding a lot of benefits aside from the improved camera interface, why not just run stock Android why not give us that Nexus experience? So we might be seeing that, but we just kind of wanted to think about the idea behind that, because I kind of would like that if maybe we get a phone like this, which is pretty impressive, for that same kind of $599 price or $649 price, available on the Google Play Store, running stock Android 4.2. That would be pretty good. And we don't think that's ever going to happen, but it could. So, but not bad here. Looking at this the Sony Xperia ZL. Push and hold that camera button and get the dedicated camera app up and running. It's got a lot of features that they have added for night mode and automatic modes, and it'll tweak everything for you in the camera. Resolution, timers, quick launch, touch capture, storage, geotagging, smile shutter. But there's tons. Obviously, we'll go through plenty of that in the full review. This is kind of a quick look at the Xperia ZL. Again, just the button's mushy. Not a fan of that power button at all. But stay tuned for the full review. Thanks for watching.